What's going on out there, good people? It is your boy Look Around with LMD Trading coming at you today with you already know another daily trade review. We will be reviewing 10 trades today. Yesterday it was 11 and today it was 10. 10 trades leading to a green day, but just like with our trader view stats, it was a 60-40 day. Took 4 red trades and 6 green trades, and somehow those four red trades got mixed right in between 3 greens on either side of it. So without any further delay, we'll go ahead, get Trader View pulled up. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna run backwards one time. Just look at the watch list for the day. Typical watch list that I'm usually watching: Apple, AMD, Facebook, Microsoft, and I did add NVDA to the list. And then XOP was one that we found on the option scanner this morning. But if we look at them and just kind of compare, and I'm just noticing this, I guess because they're all techs, all of these are NASDAQ stocks. So let's look at NASDAQ and let's look at the QQQ, which is, of course, NASDAQ ETF. Pretty much identical. So nothing was trading on its own today. Everything pretty much was trading with what the market was doing. And then if we look at XOP, it sold off pretty big right here when the market was going higher. And this one, we were playing it to go high. We were playing calls and we took one trade on it. Just bought one call and pretty much just made one R out of the trade. Left a little bit of money on the table, but we did get a nice pop. Nice pop right around 11:30 on the market, and it pretty much popped everything with it. And like I said, that same time, and actually I guess it's more so on the backside that XOP was flushing big time. But interesting market today. Listening in the chat room, I usually listen into, I guess, regular stocks. Small caps were kind of choppy and making some good moves today. Didn't take any trades in my main account today. I have a Webull account that I keep just a few $100 in, and I took one put on the SPY end of the day. That made me $40 real quick, so that was a good trade. Don't usually do too much in that Webull account because it's not really funded to do anything with. But go ahead, take a look at Trader View. Look at the numbers real quick, and then we'll get the charts pulled up. So, like I was saying, we took 10 trades. Closed P&L on the day, 264. First 3 trades out the box, nice. These here were nice. This one here played out a little bit, if I remember correctly. And then we got into these 2. Could have been done right there, but still saw some action in the market. We got back in and almost gave back all of our gains in this little stretch right here. That was a 30-minute run from 10:08 to 10:38. Almost gave back all of our gains, and weren't really good trades at all. And then finished the day out, or I should say finished the morning out with 3 solid trades, closing it out. Bought one contract on AMD that made good money. This one here, we took 3 contracts as it was breaking the VWAP, and we got caught right as the market was turning, and this thing popped in less than a minute, maybe 2 minutes, but I want to say it was about a minute that it just popped. Didn't get a chance to adjust my limit stop, and it stopped us out for a nice quick $108. One contract here on AMD. Again, this one was right around the time that the market was popping, and didn't get a chance to adjust that one either. So let's go ahead, get the charts pulled up, and we will get reviewing. Let's see. Our first trade of the day was a nice green trade on the SPY. And SPY was starting off pretty choppy, but early on, we see it stayed below the VWAP, and it just continued to test this area of support. And then this here was that big move that it made. I had heard during the and actually this is not it. I think that I'm tripping. That was Facebook was the one that it made the move on. But I heard that it was because Biden was supposed to be speaking today. I'm not sure if that was the case or not. I never saw anything or heard anything as to what exactly he might have been talking about. But we took this first trade at 9:51. So we were getting in. This came back down. Had this nice engulfing green candle that engulfed everything. And the sellers came right back and rejected it. So when they rejected it and it started to break below the VWAP, I got in right here. I always say no real confirmation on it other than if you look at these, the volume down here on these red ones, it wasn't like it was light volume. It had decent volume in it. And we're setting our stop right here, just above the high of this candle. And we see that this never came up, touched our stop, and then just made a nice move down. And this one here, we got out of the first contract at 9:57. So we were getting out of this first one here as it was pulling back. So came down, started pulling back, got out of this one, and then we held that last contract until 10:07. So we held the last one almost to the end of this move. Almost to the end of the move, but we were coming up on this area of support, which was gonna do what it did. It just didn't come all the way down. If we look, this tested the area, this tested the area, but again, it's an area. So I got what I wanted out of the trade, and I was like, okay, let me go ahead and get out. But started the morning off nice trade. Again, our goal is to make $100 a day. If we can make more, then I'm good with making more. But as we'll see, as the morning went on, we kind of lost track on that and started giving back some of it. But our second trade was on XOP. This one was on the watch list yesterday as well, and it still was popping on my option call watch list. So I was looking for an opportunity to get in, and we did at 9:51. So we were getting in. So this came down when on open, pushed back up above this area right here, this price action area, which is, depending on how you're looking at it, is either support or resistance. So coming up is going to be resistance. Once we get on this side, the ceiling, which is the ceiling, Now it's going to become the floor. So now it's going to support you instead of resisting you. So we were getting in as it broke that area, always knowing that might catch a little bit of flack off of this little top and tail here, but we see that it busted right through it. And then this one here, we got out at 9.55, and look at what we left on the table with this one. We got out of this one. Let me get over on the right candle. Right up in that area there. We got out right there. And this here was one contract. We just purchased one contract, paid $155 for it, sold it for $175, and we made $20. But look at what we left on the table. Look at what we left on the table there. And I won't say that I got what I wanted out of this trade. I will not. I will say that I was kind of trading this one kind of shaky. Kind of shaky. As it was coming up, I was moving my stop up with it. So that was our second trade of the day. At that point, we're up 135. We're doing good. Not even in the market 30 minutes yet, and we've already hit our goal. And then we took Facebook. Let's see what Facebook did when it opened. So we see Facebook opened here down below VWAP, made a nice run up above VWAP, and we got in this one at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, which would have been this candle right here, as it was breaking the VWAP. But again, no real confirmation. We do have this top and tail right here, but would have wanted to see this tested a couple of times and also test the VWAP a couple of times, because we do see made this little move down and then it rolled over. But this one here, we got in at 10 and we were out at 10:04. So out at 10:04, we're getting out down here. And this one here, we did buy 2 puts and we made 18 on this trade. But this was just one. We saw the buying pressure coming in, and we know that this is going to make this move back up, because again, we didn't really get confirmation that this was going down for any decent amount of time. So took the small gain and got out of it. Of course, our stop would have been up on this side. So had I not got out and let this play, we would have stopped out. And had I removed my hard stop, thinking, let me just trade the chart, I would have got out up here. And then this would have rolled back over and made a little bit of money. So smart to go ahead, capture that gain, knowing that this is going to come back up and test this area. So suspect entry, but decent management of the trade. So I will give myself that on that trade. And then we see this thing just exploded. And we'll look at that one again in a little while, because we did trade that one after we went through this little debacle here. These are going to be the 4 red trades that we took. And this one was Facebook. 1 put, and we got in this at 10:08. So let's see where we were getting in at. Where is 10:08? Okay. So we just said we got in right here. No real confirmation. This came down, came back up, tested VWAP, and we got in as this was breaking. This was breaking the low of that candle, thinking that it's giving us the confirmation that we want. And this is where, just because the trade looked like it's going to work, doesn't always mean it's gonna work. And that's why you put your stops in place. So this one here, we're entering here. We're putting our stop either up on this backside or up here in this price action area. Only purchased one contract, so we would have been able to have a looser stop. Two contracts, stop is going to be around here. We purchased one contract, that's going to give us a little looser stop. But let's look and see where we stopped out at. So we got out of this trade at 10.18. We got out of this trade up here. So not taking the tight stop, not taking the loose stop. We're taking the stop where the pain is so much that we're like, let's get out. And we lost $41 on one contract. So we usually know that most time we're taking two contracts and we're trying to lose 25 on two. So had I had two contracts, this would have been an $80 loss. That would have been an $80 loss. So two contracts, we stop out right there. That's a $25 loss. One contract, we can loosen our stop up. We'll stop out right there for $25. One contract, not managing it properly, and we lost $41 stopping out up there. We do see that it kind of pushed back over. But again, pain is too much right there. We're giving back $41 of that profit that we just made this morning. So that was our fourth trade. Next trade that we took, we went back to the SPY again. So let's take a peek at the SPY. So as we see, SPY just kind of chopped around this morning. Not really doing anything, not really giving any sense of direction. We did get you can call that almost a triple bottom bounce. Definitely a double right there. But you can call that one as well if you were to bring up this line and put it here, make all three of these points touch. That was a triple bottom. So on a triple bottom, usually that's going to give you a reversal. But we got in this one at 10:26 and 58 seconds, so almost 10:28. Oh, I'm sorry, almost 10:27. So we were getting in right here late. That's late. Here would have been a decent entry as it's breaking the low of this candle. Again, setting our stop up here. We can give it a little extra wiggle room and come up to this top and tail. But we missed a lot of the move. We missed a lot of the move getting in right there. And we purchased two contracts. And we got out of this one 2 minutes later at 10:28. Uh-oh. Let me get back over here. So we got out of this one 10:28 as this was pulling back up right into the next candle. And we took a $10 loss on that one. But guess what? Had we put our stop in the middle of this candle, since we were getting in late, this went down and this would have been a green trade. So we didn't take our stop. We just got out of the trade because we got to looking at it and saying, hey, we're in this trade late. It's pulling back. This thing is liable to keep on pulling. Let's just get out of it. But we do see, set in it 2 more minutes, this would have just came on down and it would not have stopped us out at 25. So that one was a $10 loss that we lost on that one. Then we went to AMD. And let's see what we did on AMD. Same way, we see AMD open, pull down below VWAP, and then it made a nice move. And this one here, we bought calls, and we bought the first one at 1029. So we would have been getting in on this right here. No real confirmation. I say that a lot. I get in a lot of trades early. That seems to be my MO. Get in early quite a bit. Over here would have been the good area after it came down, pulled back, broke the high of these two pivots right here. We see it made a nice move, but getting in just because it's breaking the VWAP. So need to be a little more patient, get that second confirmation, because if the trade is right, it's going to give us move to make money instead of trying to be first to the party and losing money. So something to take from this. Don't always make sense to be the first one to the party, but we stopped out down here. So we were getting in here. Stop is going to be below that. And that's exactly where we stopped out at. But look how much we lost on this one. This was one contract. We lost $7. We lost $7. So early entry, good stop placement, but we bought one contract, and that one contract stopped us out for $7. Again, on one contract, that leaves leeway to be a little loose, to give it a little room. Think about it. Stop down here. This is about half of that move. So if we think about it, this thing ran up here. Pullback should be half of that move. Pullback should be half of that move. Let's set our stop at about half of that move. And we see it came down maybe just a little past half, but that still probably would have been about maybe a $15 stop out right there. 20 to 25 probably would have been all the way down here. Wouldn't have stopped out, and then this thing went on and made a nice move. So this one here was another one that could have adjusted our stop to a more realistic stop for the trade. This was the right stop for the entry, but it's not a right stop for the actual trade. And buying one contract gives us room to be a little looser on that stop. So we lost $7 on this trade, and we do see, again, early entry, tighter stop, and cost us $7 on that one. So as I always say in my title, every day is a learning experience. The thing is just to try to incorporate these little nuggets of information that we learn in per trade. That's the most important thing. But next trade, we went right back to AMD and we flip-flopped. So this was a call play. Come up, test. We planned it to go higher. Tight stop, stop out. We got right back in this one at 1038. Got right back in at 1038. Playing a put. So we got faked out right here. Should have had our stop there. And then we would have went on and hit target easily. Because look at where we got in at. We got in at 102. This thing went all the way up to 105. A $3 move. So even if this was a 15 delta, we would have made $45 on one contract in that move. But because we didn't read the chart right, in real time, so hindsight 50-50 or hindsight 20-20. What are you talking about, 50-50? hindsight being 2020, this wasn't a bad play. We just got in early and we set our stop too tight for getting in early. But our next trade, we came back, a minute or two later, when we had this top and tail rejecting the VWAP, and we bought puts. And again, we only bought one put. So get in here, stop right there. Let's keep it tight. We can keep it tight on this one. Even if you want to keep it loose, you could put it up here. Keep it loose. But let's see where we stopped out at on this one. Anytime you hear me say that, you know that I stopped out someplace I had no doggone business stopping out at. We stopped out at 1046. Oh, wow. No, we did stop out where we should have stopped out at. So, I'm sorry. But look at the price. Okay, I see what it is. So, one contract, but we paid $278 for this contract. So that tells you that this had to have had a delta of about 0.4. This had to have had a delta of about 0.4 because of the cost of it. Let's go back and let's see how much we paid for the previous call. This previous call right here, we paid 61 cents. So $61 for that call. Then we turned around and we bought a put for $278. This definitely should have been a very tight stop. Very tight. Should have been right there. Because we lost $41 on this trade. And you can see the math right there. Stop out right here. We're going to lose that $20 to $25 that we want to lose. Come up here. Now we just lost $41. So this whole little circle right here was a snafu. Just totally crazy trading. But guess what? Knock that dust off your shoulders. Pick yourself up. Let's get right back in it. And guess what we went and did? We went right back to AMD. This one we got in at 1046. So let's see where we're at, 1046. So we're getting in right here, 1046, as it's breaking this pivot and this pivot. And guess where that is? That's where I said that I should have been taking this trade. One call contract. Guess what we paid for it? 61 cents or $61 because you multiply it by 100. And we got out of this one at 11 o'clock. So we kind of let this one work a little bit. We got out of this one almost at the top of the move. We paid $61 and we sold this single contract for $136. And we made $75 off of it. That's good trading. We're breaking that pivot high. Trading it up to this area right here. We're going to trade it back up to this area. So traded it up to that area and kept moving our stop up. And this thing just went nicely. So this one, good entry, good management, and good money on it. So we had our run, 4 bad trades, and then we finally got on the right side of the trade, as they say. Here, we were trading on the wrong side of the trade on both of those that we played. All right. So we're getting down to the end. Last 2 trades right here. Facebook. So we had taken some trades on Facebook over here. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. I'm not sure why I'm sitting here using this, clicking and dropping arrows, and they talking about it's inactive. That's Thinkorswim for you. I'm glad it was after hours while I'm reviewing and not while I'm trading. But Facebook took 2 trades there. One small green, one big loss. And then we went back and we got in this one at 1054. So let's see what we were looking at. 1054. Okay, right on that candle there. We'll drop it there. So got in this one here, wrong side of the trade on the bad trade. So this came down, pulled back up, came down, tested the VWAP and this area right here. We got in right as it's going to break this. Stop is going to be below here. In this one, we purchased 3 contracts. 3 contracts. We got a little greedy on this one at the right time because we got in this trade at 154.43 and we were out of this trade at 155. We getting out of it on the next 1-minute candle and the same 2-minute candle, and that move right there was $108. $108. So if we had bought the standard 2 contracts, would have made about $75 on that move. So another one, decent entry. Possibly could have ran into some resistance off of this top and tail. Possibly could have ran into some resistance off of this one. But the market popped right when we made that purchase. And you see it popped nicely. So that was a good trade. That got us back in the green fairly healthy right there. That put us up about $230 maybe. And then we took our last trade of the day, which was AMD. Which was AMD. And this one here, we got in at 1106. Let's see what we were looking at. That's 1105. So we would have been getting in on that candle there. And we were getting in on that candle right there. And just like yesterday, I took a trade where I said it was not really a pattern, but I saw this as being extended and I wanted to trade it back down to this area. I wanted to trade it back down to that area, purchasing puts. So we got in here. We're going to set our stop up here at what would have been high of the day at that time. And we bought 1 contract. Again, that gives us a looser stop. 2 contracts, we probably would have had our stop up in here. But 1 contract, we got our stop sitting up here. And we got out of this one at 1129. Let's see where 1129 is, this candle here. And look at what we did. So this came, pulled back, nowhere near our stop. And then it made this move down to this area. We see it kind of tested it, finally broke it, came on down to VWAP, and then it exploded again. But 1 contract, we made $27 on that trade, and we buttoned it up for the day for a total P&L of $264. So not a bad day in the market. A little string in the middle, we definitely have to work on that. Need to make sure that we're getting solid confirmation. Confirmation like that right there. Breaking the high of those 2 pivots right there. That's a good confirmation. Like I said, long as it has room to hit target. So we knew this was going to act as some resistance. For one, we got our line here, but then we could look to the left, as my mentor likes to say, think Beyonce, to the left, to the left. We got this junk over here to the left. This reacted to that junk, and then it broke and took off. So first target here, our first area to monitor. If we see it's going to fail, let's go ahead and get out of the trade. If we see that it's going to pop, let's let it ride. Like one of my favorite Vegas games, let it ride. And that's what we did. We let that one ride right on up to this area. And then again, thought process being, if you come from here all the way up to there, this is extended. This is going to pull back halfway, about halfway. If you come from this move up to there, that's about halfway. It came right back down to about halfway, tested it, and then it broke down. So those were our 10 trades today. Hope you liked that review. If so, please go ahead and click that like button. If you're not a sub, most definitely sub to the channel. This is what we're doing daily. Taking trades and reviewing those trades to see what we can learn from them. Taking a few more trades now because we're able to buy our contracts a little cheaper, a little less expensive than the monthly contracts. So gives us a little more flexibility in our trading. And this trading plan is evolving. It's not a hard and steadfast trading plan per se, but it's one that it's evolving with me being a new trader. So I'm sure those traders that's been trading for 2, 3, 5, 10 years, their trading plan has been refined and it's pretty much locked in. But as a new trader, I'm still learning. Every day is a learning process. So you'll kind of notice that my trades, they may kind of fluctuate from time to time. And the thing is, what can I learn from that? What can I add to the trading plan? What might be in my trading plan that I need to remove? So come along for the ride, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow.